Hi you all, it's week 4 and I wanted to touch base with you all about an assignment that we are starting this week, which is your Erikson self-study. This assignment is your key assessment for this course, so one thing that you'll want to make sure that you have before we get going is your task stream account. Make sure that it's current and all set up and ready to go for you. Whenever we're finished with this assignment, you'll upload this to TaskStream, and that's where I will be grading it. So it's really important that you've got that account and that it's current. So if you have questions about that, you can email me, but that's something that you can go ahead and start looking into now if you haven't already. So with your Erikson self-study, again, it's your key assessment for this course. It is a self-study, so you will not have to observe any children. You won't have to go to a child care site for this. It's all about yourself, okay? So it's over the Erikson's psychosocial development. It's the 8 stages that he proposes that individuals go through in life. So this assignment will be a paper with 8 different sections in it, okay? And you'll also have a cover page and a reference page. So within each section, you are going to take that stage of psychosocial development, and there will be 2 sections. The first section, you are going to explain the stage, okay? So that's where your references will come into play. You'll need to have at least 4 resources. Those could be your textbook, they could be professional articles or journals that you find online, or any other books that you find that go over Erikson's psychosocial development. But that first section will be an explanation of the stage. The second part of each section will be a My Life description. So in that section, you are going to kind of reflect on your life and share how your life compares to that stage that he proposes, okay? So like I said, with each of these stages, it goes through an individual's entire life. So there's going to be several stages that you have not yet lived. So when we get to those stages later on down the course, it's just important to note that when you get to those, you are going to pretend that you've already lived those stages. So you're going to imagine what you imagine what your life will be like whenever you live those stages. So when you write those sections, you're kind of just going to be pretending like you've already lived those stages. So sometimes that could be kind of confusing and a question that comes up. So I just wanted to cover that before we get there. Okay, so that's just kind of an overall explanation of this assignment. What I would highly suggest you doing this week, number 1, is in your week 4 folder, open up the guideline or the instruction document that goes over this assignment and read it in detail. Okay, read it in full so you know exactly what to expect. The second thing I would do is open up the rubric that's attached there also, because that is what I will be grading your assignment with. So if you go over that rubric and make sure you include everything in your paper that's on that rubric, then you should have no worries at all with this assignment. And the other thing that I am going to suggest you do, as consistently as you can, with each stage that you submit on Blackboard, I am going to go through those and, give you specific feedback for those sections, whether it's if you need to add anything, whether you need to revise anything, whether it's grammatical issues. I will give you feedback, and I always suggest that you go ahead and revise those as quickly as you can and make sure you save it in a safe place on your computer, because once you have all of the stages finished, you are going to compile all of those stages with your cover page and your reference page into one document and submit the entire thing. Okay, so if you, the first few sections, your stages, if you get feedback on it and decide to wait till the end of the semester, and then you have to go back and revise all of your stages, it could be kind of a daunting task. So I highly suggest you kind of stay on top of that as you receive your feedback, okay? So that's all I have for you right now. I hope that's not too overwhelming for you. This week, you'll just have your stage 1 due, and also your resources page. And remember, you need 4 resources for that. So if you have any questions, again, please email me. Make sure you look over the document with all of the instructions, and I think we'll be set for that. So again, email me with any questions or concerns, and have a good week. Bye.